Wait a minute, how did the guy who started editing on a $50 PC manage to scale all the way up to charging thousands of dollars per video that he edits? Well, that's Sam P. Dunn, a YouTube editor turned business owner who used his knowledge of digital marketing to scale his freelancing career, landing millionaire clients within just a few weeks of starting video editing. Now, he's going to teach you, alongside me, not only how to start video editing from scratch, but also how to scale up and work with some of the biggest personal brands across all of YouTube. But first, can you name the main reasons why editors don't have money coming into their PayPal right now?
So I think one of the main ones is not wanting to kind of put yourself out there as much as you should be doing and getting yourself in those doors. And unfortunately, just the way the world is, one of the easiest way to get in those doors is to just start working for free and build your prices up over time. And it's kind of counterintuitive telling a video editor how to market themselves. You know, the answer is by doing it for free. It's counterintuitive because we're here to make money, right? But that seems like, from my experience anyway, that seems like hands down the best way. You've got to put your ego aside, realize that you're not yet qualified to be in this room, so you have to kind of have an alternate selling point. And that's exactly what I did. I started out my first video was $60. The client had 1 million subscribers, so I priced that completely wrong. The guy was a millionaire. But ultimately that allowed me to find the opportunities to work up, go from a freelancer at $60 per video to editing both of their channels, their podcast channel and their main channel, and then working in person. And the opportunities came to work up the ladder. But if I'd been kind of too prideful at the start and thought I'm not doing a free sample video for free, I'm not working for free, none of that would have happened and I wouldn't be here today. So I would say just willingness to put yourself out there.
How did you finally figure out that you were able to surrender your ego to eventually just price how you did? Because I'm sure that takes a lot of like almost self-discovery. That's pretty difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of came from ignorance. But the general concept was there, the idea of doing things, of underpricing myself to get in the door. The concept was there. It was just the execution. I didn't have enough experience in business to kind of know how to price correctly. And that's one of the reasons why I've started this channel and why I'm showing value now, is to teach the younger version of me what I didn't know then. Before I was a video editor, I was actually in digital marketing. I had like a digital marketing side hustle. And from that, I realized that if you give a potential customer something for free, like a free sample video where I've downloaded their video and sent it across to them and said, here's my work, when applied to your videos, can we work together? When you send them something for free, they're more inclined to get back to you, because it's like you've already put in that upfront effort to put your work in front of them and show them that, you know, you've got the skills and that you're dedicated to making this relationship work. Ultimately, if I hadn't have gone through that and learnt those points, I would never have got up until, you know, where I am now, where I can easily charge $1,000 plus for a video.
That's amazing. What would be some of your most brutally honest advice for editors who are just flat out bad? Like if they wanted to get their foot in the door and they needed to make a free project, but they didn't even know that it was bad.
Yeah, this is something that is very close to home, because after I've had to kind of force myself out of it, but after I finish an editing project, I think it's the best thing in the world. And then maybe a week after or a month after, I come back to it and think that was you know, there's room for improvement there, and you spot all those errors. But fundamentally, I think you have to look at what the top creators in the space are doing, look at, you know, whoever's right at the top of your niche, their editing style, their animations, everything to do with their videos. You have to really brutally, honestly look at their videos, compare it to your own, and think, where am I going wrong? What could have I improved? And animations, the music, you know, the stylistic choices, whatever it is, just have a brutally honest look and force yourself not to be too kind of happy with your work, I guess.
Gotcha. So if you have like no material possessions, like how do you get started with video editing when you absolutely have nothing? No track record, not even like a very good computer. I remember when I was first starting out, I had just a crummy old MacBook Pro. It's probably older than me at this point, but I just picked up iMovie. But what would be your best advice for that?
Yeah, so after the digital marketing side hustle that I spoke about, I started on a $50 PC from eBay, and it was like a secondhand. Where is it?
You have it? Oh, yeah. You have it.
I tried to pick it up. It was one of these. I've got a few of them from an office clearance, but just not the best PC in the world.
Look at that piece of junk.
Yeah. Wow. It looks like it should have steam coming out the side, right? But it was about $50. Yeah. And the point I'm getting at here is it would just crash all the time. But ultimately, I did pick up that first 1 million subscriber client using that PC. So I managed to make it work. I would take it downstairs and plug it into the Wi-Fi router to to get the best Wi-Fi I possibly could and take the whole setup downstairs. It was crazy, but sometimes you have to make allowances, to make it work. And then obviously I bought a MacBook after that, which is more than capable to run everything I need it to run. But if I were to start again right now, what I'd be doing is exactly what we've spoken about. So replicating edits and really getting my creativity across in even if it's just a short snippet. And so long as on your website or your portfolio, you make it clear that those are not paid clients and that they're just like replicated edits, there's no reason why you can't build a whole portfolio out of just replicated edits.
That's great. I remember it was just like this last year. One of my clients sent me like a 30 gig 4K file, and my computer would just stop downloading it after 4 different tries. So I had to bring up my whole Mac Mini over here and just bring it upstairs because that's where the Wi-Fi router is, and plug it in and start downloading. That's some great advice. So what are some high value editing skills that top tier clients actually look for? What do you need to be specifically replicating in those videos that you're recreating and sending to those clients?
I think primarily we can talk kind of technical video editing skills, but I think fundamentally it comes down to problem solving, because if you've got very good problem solving skills, there's not ever going to be a technical editing skill that is out of your reach. You can always see something, reverse engineer it and learn how to edit it yourself. And I think it comes across even in the smallest things. You can see someone's problem solving skills. So if someone's asking questions that are just an easy fix, or you can Google, for example, if I'm asking my client a silly question, they're going to be able to see that, this guy's not a very good problem solver because you can find the answer on Google in 2 seconds. It's stuff like that I think you have to be a very capable problem solver. If something goes wrong, you should exhaust every single option to solve that problem before even asking the client about it. So it's funny you should say about big downloads. I had this one client and they sent, must have been 100 gigabytes worth of podcast footage. It was 1080p, but it was still 100 gigabytes because it was so long and so many cameras. There was 4 angles. I remember I was struggling to download it off this server they had in their house. I was trying to download it and trying everything, moving my PC downstairs, plugging it in back in the day, and it just wasn't downloading. And rather than approach them with a problem, I thought, this is my first few videos working with this client. I have to try solve this problem myself, or it's going to be embarrassing, right? I can't download the footage. So I paid someone on Fiverr with 1 gigabyte Wi-Fi download. And I said, can you download this file? Is the problem me, or is it a problem with the server? Wow. And he said, luckily, no, it's a problem with the server. But the point is, I exhausted every single problem solving option to me before going to my client, because I knew it wouldn't make me look very good that I can't download the footage.
Wow. To pay somebody on Fiverr, that's hilarious. Yeah. At that point, your problem solvers are business owners, and business owners are problem solvers. That's the whole point of a business, is to solve problems for other people. So that's the new perspective of video editing that I've recently taken on, is you're no longer just a freelancer, you're a business owner, and you have time that is valuable that you can use to then leverage for other people's time and give them a solution to the problem, which is either, bad videos or low engagement or not enough time to even complete anything. So how do you stand out amongst your competition? If everybody's given the same knowledge, how do you have that extra edge on everybody else?
I think especially in the early days of being a video editor, I think attention to detail really shines through. For example, when I was sending those sample videos out to people, I only got through a few of them. I had a big long hit list of people that I'd love to work with, and of maybe about 30 creators, and I only got through 2 or 3, because each time a client would pick up on my attention to detail, my willingness to put my work and myself out there, and just hire me. So there was no reason for me to carry on with that hit list. But it's not something that people invest a lot of time into now. You see these edits and they might have a spelling error or a mistake, or just generally be kind of surface level editing. Whereas I think if you invest time into attention to detail and creativity, that's the best thing that you can look for. Putting yourself in the shoes of a potential client looking for an editor, that's the best thing you can look for, because editing skills can be taught, but I think attention to detail is something that either comes naturally or doesn't.
Yeah, that's great. We talk about all this how to get into freelancing and stuff, but how do you scale beyond freelancing? That's the next step to becoming that business owner of a video editor. So how do you scale beyond that?
Yeah, so I came into video editing from a marketing background, and that gave me a good idea that the agency model wasn't really for me. Just the people management side of it. I like to work alone. Just loads of things kind of came in that when I started video editing, I knew the agency model wasn't for me. So the way I see it, you've got 3 options. You've got vertical scaling, which is scaling with with just one client. So you're vertically scaling up with that one client. You've got horizontal scaling, which is like an agency or working with lots of clients and scaling outwards. And then you've got personal branding, which is a slightly different approach. And it's using your video editing skills to build yourself a personal brand about whatever you're interested in, whatever value you have to share, and going down the kind of personal branding route of it.
Yeah, I've definitely considered the agency side of things, but then again, like, people are pretty tough and I can barely manage myself. So how would you approach the first one, the vertical scaling option? How do you ask for a raise?
Yeah, I think you have to do it very systematically. You have to deliver a win or a really good project that you've invested loads of time into, and then the opportunity comes for you to say, hold on, I think I can solve bigger problems for you. I think I can provide more value to you. Can we discuss a raise? It could even be dropping clients, because obviously client turnover is quite high in video editing, just the nature of the industry. So the raise could come just from finding new clients and just working your way up with that, adding things into your offering. Because I think offering video editing is one thing. If we go back to what we spoke about at the start of the call about problem solving, if you position yourself as a problem solver and you're not just selling video editing, you're selling the solution to a problem, I think there's so much opportunity to work your way up those prices and work with better and better clients and all of that.
I've also seen, like, if you have multiple clients competing against each other for your attention, I find that's like one of the easiest ways to scale, because especially if you have a lot of volume, when one of my videos blew up, I had like probably 3 emails a day from potential clients coming in, and it was awesome. I would take on a client and then I would have another one that's like, oh, I'm swamped right now, I don't need to take on more work, but then I can leverage that to ask for more money because I'm in such demand. So if you can create like that passive demand with either a personal brand or a YouTube channel or something like that, that's like my favorite way to grow, is just by putting contact information in the description and letting them come to you. Hey, where can people find out more about what you do?
So I've actually condensed everything I know about video editing, from going from $60 per video to thousands of dollars per video, everything I've learned along that journey, into my paid program, Editors Academy. It's hours and hours of video training, live events, cheat sheets, resources, all designed to get you from wherever you are now as a video editor to a professional video editor, to help you firstly master video editing and then find high-paying clients on demand. And you can find that linked in the video description below.
Be sure to use code Hollywood at home for 10% off. See you guys in the next one.